Okay, this session, number 6, on building your website for the 2-week website process. This one will be fairly extensive because this is where most of the people drop off the face of the earth in this process of getting ready to make an online income, is getting their website built. So what we're going to do is go through a lot of various aspects of building your website. I'm going to show you basically how to structure and put one together without being too extensive in instruction and becoming tedious. There will be a learning curve here. You will have to learn whatever software you use, whether it's what you see is what you get, Web Builder, Excite Pro, Site Build It, WordPress, or other sites and design options. Those will be things you'll have to learn how to use. I will be doing some illustrations and demonstrations in what you see is what you get, Web Builder. But any of these things will work. I'm suggesting this one right here, strong suggestion for beginning your website building if you've never built one before. And there are other options up here that may work for you also. So we'll see as we go. But this is fairly extensive, and don't want you to drop off at this point, because this is critical that you get this built and that you get it built in a certain way so that you've got the platform to launch into your income producing website and business. The first question is, what are you using your website for? That's significant in what kind of website you're going to build. You can use a website to promote and assist a local business. A website that I've built for a local business here is Fort Smith Taekwondo Academy. I built that with what you see is what you get, Web Builder, and it's been a significant, it's produced a significant flow of traffic to the website and to the school, and has provided a steady flow of people coming through the school to check it out and even to join. So that's one way that you can use your website. Affiliate marketing, that's where you build a website and put other people's products, you promote other people's products on your website. Maybe you review them, various ways that you can do it. But when somebody clicks through to an affiliate's product and buys a product, then you make a commission on it. Contextual ad marketing, many people have heard of AdSense. Many of you have probably clicked on AdSense ads. Some of them take you to very, very good and relevant businesses, but AdSense, another one is Chitika, and there are quite a few of them out there now. Contextual ad marketing, where when somebody clicks on an ad on your website, you make an amount of money based on how much people are paying for the ad. Selling your own product, that could be a physical product, or it could be an online digital product, just like these videos here. If something you have particular knowledge about, you can produce and sell your own product, either a physical product or digital products. It could be a website for charity or nonprofit organization. None of this is limited to making money online. You could use it for any number of things, and including just pure passion for what you like, and this will help you get traffic to it and help you build it in a way that will maximize your efforts. So what are you using your site for is significant in what kind of site you build and how you're going to proceed with it on into the future. Next, you want to, as you're building your website, you'll need to consider multiple browsers. Don't think for a minute because you build a website that looks good in Firefox that it will also look okay in Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is the most difficult internet browser to work with, and of course it's the most popular and most used internet browser on earth, because it is included in every version and every computer that has Windows on it. Internet Explorer is included. It is far from the best. It has all kinds of bugs and security issues, and it is not standards compliant, which means you build a site in Firefox, you want to make sure you're checking it as you go in Internet Explorer. I build everything I build and check it with my Firefox browser, and the Firefox is what I use, but I check them and make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to make them fit and to work in Internet Explorer. And if they work in these two right here, it's likely that Google Chrome will show them okay, and that Safari will be okay too. So consider multiple browsers, though. If you're creating something in Internet Explorer or checking everything in Internet Explorer, make sure you check it in Firefox and one of these others. If you're making it in Firefox or any of these, make sure that you're checking it with Internet Explorer to see that it fits there, because a lot of people Actually, the majority of people are going to be using this, though these are becoming much more prevalent. For now, and this is, I don't know how to say this strongly enough, particularly men watching this, and I can say this because I'm a man and I know how you feel. What men want to do is they go part of the way through these processes and they stop and they think, well, I can just do this from here and I'll just do it because I can and I can put this up, and what I think and what I'm going to put up is so great that I can put the advertising up now and make $1 million overnight, and I don't need to go through the rest of this. Well, go ahead, and you'll be one of the other millions of people that just drop off the face of the earth because they do that and get nothing from it. Nobody visits their website, nobody clicks on their ads, nobody pays them for anything. Forget advertising. When you're building your website, forget advertising. No advertising until the site is built and has reasonable traffic. Now, what is reasonable traffic? There's no scientific answer for that. For some types of sites, that could be 50 people a day. For others, it might be hundreds a day. A number that's thrown around a lot and makes sense is wait till you get 100 visitors a day before you begin putting up advertising on your site. The most common mistake is monetizing too much too early. I've seen people put up pretty decent websites that nobody was looking for yet, and put Amazon ads all the way around the page and down the center. You couldn't tell the content from the Amazon ads. Anybody clicking into something that looks like that is going to click right out, including you. That's what's funny, is a lot of people build these sites real quick. They get them up, they throw tons of ads on them, and they've got a site that they wouldn't stay in themselves if they visited it. Forget advertising for now. Let's get your initial goal is to get a coherent, well-designed site up and get it promoted and get traffic to it. So forget advertising for right now. If you're going to ignore this advice, just forget going through the rest of this and go on and build your website, because no matter what you do here, if you go ahead and ignore this advice right here, the rest of it isn't going to work anyway. So the next one is your website parts. This is what you'll actually be putting in. So Mark, if you're not going to do advertising, what are you going to put in here? Well, here are your website parts that you're going to be putting up to build your initial website. You're going to be putting up your header. We created a header and showed you how to create a header in one of the former videos. And so I'm not going to do it here. It's in another video. And you may know how to do that already. If you haven't bought the video, you may know how to make a header already, and that's perfectly okay. The header, if you have been going through this whole process and you're going video by video, then that header should be created and stored for use earlier on. The next, you will be forming the site shape and border. In other words, this is all about putting the site together where you've got something to put content in. And we'll make that in the program that I'm going to show you here. In this program right here, I'll show you how to make the shape and border and all that. And that's pretty simple. The footer, that's basically the part down at the bottom of your site where you're going to have your copyright and maybe some minor links to your about or contact page or something like that. Pictures, you should, if you're going by this process, you would have pictures prepared and sorted before starting the build. On one of the videos, it shows how to sort this stuff out before you get started. If you haven't done that, you might want to pull together any pictures that you've got as far as your site idea goes, and size and sort those pictures based on the articles you're going to write and what you're going to put them with, so that they're ready to go when you start building your website. There's going to be your menu bar on your website. That's where people are going to be able to see your main pages down the side, and that's part of what your site will look like. And the program options will, in any of these programs, will give you various menu bar options that you can design and put up. Video, if you have it, this is not absolutely necessary, but these will enhance any website. A few videos, not one on every page. Don't go sticking videos on every page unless your website is something that is necessary for you to have a video up to instruct or demonstrate something. But a couple of YouTube videos that are embedded in a couple of pages in your site can be very helpful in putting up your new site and getting people coming to them and demonstrating some authority and credibility on your part before you get a lot of traffic coming and a lot of notoriety for your site. All of this will be wrapping up 8 pages of prepared content. That means articles that are relevant to your site, and those will be pages with keyword targeted titles, articles, pictures, and links. And what you want to start out with is a minimum of 300 words per article. Here's this has become important. It's important. The more content at this point seems to be better on pages. Now, that does not necessarily mean that an article with 500 words is going to rate better than an article with 200 words. But for building new content and putting together a website that you want to gain credibility with, the first articles that you put up, the first 8 pages of content you put up, should have a minimum of 300 words per article. This is for search engines, and these should eventually be built to 500 to 800 words after you get the site built and get it going. Expand those articles and build them up to 500 to 800 words. So you've got main pages with lots of keyword targeted titles and content, both for readers and for search engines. And then from that, you will build the rest of your site structure. But that's important when starting. Start out with 300 to 400 words per article and get them up. Don't spend a bunch of time poring over trying to get these many words right here, because you'll get stuck. And getting stuck is the primary hindrance in this whole process, is that people get stuck and they have a tendency to quit. Don't quit. Get your 8 pages ready. Get your 300 word articles out, 300 to 400 word articles out, and then you can build them up after you get the site up and going. And then finally, you'll need an about page, a contact page, and privacy page. And that's privacy. These are all required by many advertisers when you eventually put advertising up. So these are all things that are your website parts. I'm going to go ahead and leave that up and kind of refer back to it maybe here in a minute. Now, here are some things you want to avoid when building your website, and these are important things. Flash or unfamiliar script. Listen, I know that I don't know what anybody. I don't know who's looking at this right now as you read it. Many people, though, that come to this website are going to know me to some degree personally. They're either going to meet me through another website, we're going to be communicating some way, or they may be people that locally that know me through business or my church or whatever other means. These are going to be people that know me. But on your initial website, Flash or other unfamiliar scripts, things that are unfamiliar to you, are not going to be helpful to promote your new website. They're not going to help you with search engines. A lot of times they're not going to help you with visitors. Don't put any Flash or unfamiliar scripts. Remember, here's what you're going to put together for your initial website. Keep it simple. Keep it strong. This is what you're looking for. A header, shape and border, footer, pictures, menu bar, all with around 8 pages of prepared content. But don't put Flash and fancy stuff and moving parts in your website to start with. That's not to say you should never do it. But in building it and building a good, strong platform for your income-producing website, don't put any of this stuff in it to start with. Use simple text, graphics, and links to start, and that will give you what you need to get started and to get people coming to your website and reading it and building some credibility and trust and traffic. Make sure that you're avoid difficult navigation. Make sure you have a nice. Don't be clever with your navigation. Again, let me take you over here to Fort Smith Taekwondo. Nobody has to guess where to go on this website. You want to talk about Taekwondo training? It's right there. If you want to see the instructors at Fort Smith Taekwondo, here is some of them and what they are and who they do. If you want the class schedule, there it is right there, and it's in writing. Don't make your navigation difficult. Don't be clever. Build a good clear menu bar across the top, down one side or the other, but make it simple and make it clear. Build a simple, easy menu bar or column. Avoid main content background colors. Again, some of you will be, some people reading this and going into building a website may be very creative, and they may really like to work with colors and things like that, but people are what you're trying to build is a website that people will come to, stay on for a while, and read. Don't build a website with a red background and yellow letters. build a website. You can have an attractive header and border and footer and some pictures in it and all that kind of stuff. Maybe a block in it that like we've got with Fort Smith Taekwondo over here that has highlights in it. Those are all fine. But what you don't want to do is build a website with radical colors in the background of your main content here. Black on white is what works for people to come in and read information. So avoid main content background colors where you're going to put your articles. Use white background with black text to start, or alternatively to that, you can use a cream color or an ivory, but some form of light white with black text is what you need to start with. An unbalanced look. Look at it and make sure that people can read down through it and see what they're doing. I'll just continue to use this. This is put together in blocks here, but you can read clearly what this page is about right down through here without any problem. So that's really important, that it has a balanced look and that people can read it easily. Square to start. Creativity can come later. Don't put a bunch of shapes and oddities and swirls and things in your website right now. You make it attractive, but make it balanced and easy to read to start with. And again, I'm going to say this again, no advertising for now. Again, these come after some traffic and site trust. That's redundant, but it's worth being redundant for. So we'll concentrate on that after you've got some traffic well established and built some site trust and so forth. Now, what we're going to do here is talk about some of the ways to build a website here. And again, I'm not going to be extensive in showing anybody how to go. I'm not going through a tutorial on how to use each one of these programs or services. I'm going to show more here than I do anywhere else, just to give you an idea of how to begin to put it together. And then you'll have to get the programs or these services and read the instructions, because there's a lot in these things. This right here, as far as building a static website, is the one I would recommend to anybody. It has become one of the best, most comprehensive website builders for anybody who is not a programmer. And the cost of it is very reasonable. As of this writing, the price of it is $44.95. Now here is the interface right here. You have your interface to work on your site right here. This is where you see everything that you're doing right here. And these are all of the tools over to the left. Now you can get rid of that toolbar, but I wouldn't. Everything you need to build your website is over here, and there's a lot of it. And there's a lot of basic stuff, and there's a lot of advanced stuff over here. And you'll just have to learn as you go. It's not hard to put one together, but there will be some learning that you'll have to do. If you've never built a website on any kind of program before, and you want to do it with this software, then you will have there will be some learning that you'll have to do. It has highly versatile options in that you can make numerous what are called demo pages in there, and I'll show you something I haven't shown anybody else here in a little while. But highly versatile options as far as propagating and assimilating your site design and being able to adjust it is very, very versatile. It's a true drag and drop interface, which is not usual with website building software, even the ones that claim that that's what they are. This is truly a drag and drop interface. It's about like building a PowerPoint presentation, which is pretty simple if you use PowerPoint. But it is a true drag and drop interface. It's very easy to design a website in it, and a very good looking website with any kind of, I've told you to avoid some things over here, Flash. It has the ability to put anything you want to put in it, and any kind of stuff you want to put in it, but you want to avoid it for right now. But it's very easy to design a website of any caliber, and what you see is what you get. And it's very effective for promoting a business, just like we do with Fort Smith Taekwondo. At Fort Smith Taekwondo, if you go to Google and type in any combination of Fort Smith and Taekwondo, it's at the top of the front page of Google. If you type in Fort Smith and martial arts, it comes up at the top 1 or 2 spaces on Google. And also a number of our videos we have on YouTube come up on the front page of Google when you type in the search term Fort Smith Martial Arts or Fort Smith Taekwondo. So it serves very well to promote a business, and it will work very well for any of the other type of advertising also. So what you see is what you get. Web Builder is extraordinarily good. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop here and show you how to start putting together a website through what you see is what you get Web Builder. I've got it open here, like I said, the interface, and we have prepared in one of the other videos a header for this. If you haven't prepared a header, go ahead and do that, and then you can you can watch this and then prepare your header, and this will show you how to put it in here. Your header is a picture, basically a picture file that you have created beforehand and ready to insert here, and I'll just go get one that I created, and it will be down here in images. And what you do with a lot of this in the left hand side, what you do is you drag it to your desktop and let it go, and it leaves a little square. And what you do that with an image, it opens up a box here where you can go to your computer and get that picture wherever it may be. In this case, it's over here on this website build folder, which I've put together just for this tutorial. And I've got my home page here. This will be my home page. And this is my home site header right here that I prepared earlier. And there it is. Now, this is not, I'm building this for illustrative purposes. This is not something that I'm actually building a website with, but this is one that I prepared earlier with a program. Once you put this header in here, you can adjust it also. You can make it, if you need to make your site a little bit wider, you can make your header a little bit longer. You can move your little marker out here and it will keep it measured and everything, but I'm going to keep it about the size it was right there, and that makes a nice looking header. Now, by default, in what you see is what you get. The first page that you make is your index. That would be your home page. Your home page is always the file name is always index. That's for hosting purposes and search engine purposes, and being able to map your domain correctly to a host and have that website show up. Your home page is always called index. Now that doesn't mean that's the title of your page, but that's the file name for your home page is index. So I brought my header in here, and the next thing I want to do is I want to create a border. So what I'm going to go do is go down here to drawing, and I'm going to pull in a shape. Now, having pulled in that shape, I'm going to pull it right there to the side. I'm going to drag it out here, and I'm going to pull it up here to get it even with my site header. I'll get it almost even with my site header. Now I want to get my page about an average length down here, so I'm going to drag this shape all the way down. I know I'm not going to leave it that color. You can actually drag this little marker down here. It's kind of tedious, but you do it incrementally there. And I'm going to drag that down here. And this is going to be my first page here with this square. Now what I'm going to do with this square is I'm going to put a border around it. I'm going to go down here to Properties. You right click on it, go to Properties, and I'm going to go to Border, and I'm going to turn it that color right there. That's pretty close to this here, and it should come close to matching. And I'm going to give it a white background. And I'm going to make the width of the border about 4. And I have now created a border for my content. Okay, you can see how that works. I haven't got this. I'm trying to make it fit just exactly right. There you go. And I'm gonna move it over. Made it fit. You have to drag it around here till you make it fit. And there you've got now a border that matches the outline of your of my header. And I've got a page here. Now, if I want to put a footer down at the bottom of this, I'm going to go down here and get another shape. I'm going to pull it right here. I'm going to try to anyway. I'll drag that down here and drop it. And I'm going to, again, pull it up and over. and go this far with it. Now you can make that just like you did that other shape. You can make it any color you want to and do anything you want to do with it. But for purposes of simplicity here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this shape. I'm going to make this shape the color of the border. So I'm going to go to Properties. I'm going to go for border. I'm going to go with white so there's no border showing. I'm going to go to this color. And I've got a colored footer here that is the same color. It's got a white border around it. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go up here in the border. I'm going to have to go the same color. So there, that makes it the same color now as the rest of the page. Now in this shape right here, I'll put my copyright, or you might, sometimes you can put a couple of links in it, like to your contact page or your about page. But I usually just put my copyright there, and that makes your page design. Now, here's what I want to really express to you about this program that makes it so versatile. Now, this is your index page. By default it's being created. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to rename it Demo. We renamed that Demo. Okay. Now, that's going to be a page that will actually be used to assimilate the site design everywhere on the site. What I'm going to do is go up here to make my home page. I'm going to go up here to Untitled 3, and I'm going to right click and get a new page. This will be titled after you name your website and everything. But page 1, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rename this one Index. Now this is going to be my home page. So how am I going to make my home page? You go right down here to Advanced, if I can find it, Advanced, and pull up a Master Page. It brings that little square. I'm going to double click in that square, go to Select, and it's going to bring up these pages over here, and I'm going to go to the Demo page. Double click on it and go OK, and what it does is it brings me that page right here, and that's my home page. And now I'm going to start building my content in that page. You can build as many demo pages as you want to in this program. You can build one this size. You can copy this, lengthen it, and make Demo L, Demo S, Demo, whatever you want to make it, to make them longer, shorter, wider. And each one of these demo pages, when you go to make a new web page, you can come over here to Advanced, pull a master page out here, and get any one of those demo pages you want to get, pull it over here, and you've automatically got your site design ready to populate on any web page. So that's what makes this so versatile. You can create as many demo pages to use on your site as you want to, and you can make them somewhat different while keeping the same design. Now, we're building the home page here, and this will be the way you build any other page on the website. And again, I'm not going to do everything in this because it takes so long, but the first thing I want to do is put a title up here. And so I'm going to go up here to Standard Text, pull this over here, and I'm going to put my site title right here. And I'm going to make that's going to be a headline. You need to learn about headlines in here. I'm not going to go into it right now, but if you're not familiar with it, you need to learn about headlines and what they mean in your site. But for right now, my site title is right here. Now, this is where drag and drop really comes in handy here. I'm going to pull some more text over into here. And as you know, a few days ago, or however long it was that you saw this other one, I built an article to show you how to write articles for websites. So I've got this over here, and it's gibberish. It's just text that doesn't say anything, but this is an article. This is what one of your website articles might look like, with a bunch of text and paragraphs. And when you get ready to build your website, you can bring these articles up and begin to populate your text boxes over here. Now, you can make this as long or as short as you want to. You can stretch this out. You can stretch this out across your page like this. Double click here. You can get rid of that text in there. And if you want to say we want to put our first paragraph right there, and I'll just highlight it, copy it from this article. Oh, it just took out the whole thing, didn't it? I'll pull this back over here again. We will highlight that, and then I will paste what I put in there from that article right here. And I can keep that in any shape I want to. I can drag it out here and make it the first paragraph. I can put the whole article in there. I can paste the whole article in there if I want to, and put no pictures or anything in there. Or if I want to bring a picture into this, I can pull this over, and I want to wrap it with the text. I can pull this over like this. Go up here to images and pull image. See this image right here? I'm going to drag it to my desktop, release my mouse button, and it'll go over here to where my site header is on my computer. And here's my site header that I'm sorry, I don't want my site header. I want some houses. I want some pictures of houses. So this is a picture of a house right here. I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to resize it here on my page. And I want it to fit right here under my site title along with this first paragraph. So I just drag and drop it right where it's supposed to go, move this around, and I've built my first paragraph and picture. I can go down through this whole page if I want to and build these alternately just like this. I can take my second paragraph, put it there, paste it into the text box, pull it out this way slightly. Now, I want to put another image in there. Picture of another house. And you can resize them however big you want. Now, you don't want huge images in here because it'll take a long time to load. So size your images before you put them in here so they're not too huge to start with. But you can see the potential for what you can do building a web page all the way. And you can make this demo page. You can take this and copy it and lengthen it and make another demo page that's longer than this so you can lengthen this one. But you can build a beautiful web page and a very nice website with what you see is what you get Web Builder by simply dragging and dropping text, pictures, links, whatever you want to do. Now I'm going to take you inside something. This is the way this thing works. Now you'll need to get in here, and first of all you have to buy the software, but then you have to get in here and learn how to use it. So you are going to be learning how to use things, but it's very simple to create a simple site design, a very nice looking site design, and to populate that site design with text and pictures just like I did here. And it has a full comprehensive set of help instructions that you can use by both index content and search, and we'll give you the full rundown on everything, on how to do everything you need to do in this program to build a very nice website. Now what I'm going to do is take you inside just to show you how it's structured of Fort Smith Taekwondo Academy website here. And of course I'm not going to give out any information that would allow anybody to break into my site, but I'm going to open that up. I'm going to open up well, let's see, it's over here in my let's see, I guess I do want to save that, don't I? I'm going to save it as untitled right there in the home page, just because I don't want to lose it. Here is Fort Smith Taekwondo Academy file that I keep on my computer and in Dropbox, and this is how it is structured. You remember the demo page I made a while ago? This is where I want to show you what we've got here. Here's my demo page for this website. It's pretty simple. That's the length of it. But if I want a shorter page, if I want to build a web page, I know it's going to be shorter than this home page, then I use Demo S. Then I'll go in here if I want to make a new page, for instance. I'll go over here and say, or I'll go up here and right click on that and go to New Page. So I've got a new background here. But to get the page, I got to go down here to Master Page, pull it over, and I want this one to be shorter. So I'm going to go to Demo S because that's a shorter version of the demo of the site design. So I'm going to double click there. I'm going to go to Demo S. Okay, and I bring up that same design, but look, it's shorter than the front one. It's not real short, but it's shorter. Now, if I don't like that, if that one's not short enough, I can delete that. I can do the same thing, go over here to Master Page, pull it up, double click it, go to Select, and go down here to Demo VS. That's Demo Very Short, by the way, for Fort Smith Taekwondo. So that's very short. Okay. And I pull that up here, and that is now ready to go for a short. You see how short that is? So that's just for a very short, like a contact form and a little bit of text can go in there, but that's the way this works. And these demo pages are how I design new pages on the site. And I'm going to show you something pretty radical here. It's something that can be kind of scary if you're doing your own site. This is the home page, and it's, as you can see, it's well populated and everything's in about the right position. But if I decide I want to go in and I want to edit this and I want to make it longer, I want to add something to the home page that's going to lengthen it by maybe 30 or 40%, then I need to change out the master page. Well, how do you do that without messing up the whole thing? Well, the master page is a standalone layer. So here's what I do. I click here on the header because that clicks on the whole page. Now watch this. I'm going to delete the page. But when I delete the page, it only deletes the demo page and it leaves all the content in place. Now what you don't want to do is go over here and click on drag on any of this stuff because you will move it. Now, I wanted a longer page, so I'm going to go over here to Demo L. I'm going to drag a master page over here, double click on it, go to select, and go to Demo L. That's Demo Long, okay? And I'm going to drag it right up here and replace my home page. Now the question is, Mark, all your stuff just disappeared under that page. What do? Well, you right click on it, say move to back, and your web page is right back in place where it was. Except you got more room down at the bottom now. Now I can drag this down. I can drag these things down. I can drag the contact form down. I can drag these down. I can move pictures over. I can move this up. I can rearrange text if I want to. I can add to this site. So Mark, you just messed everything up. No, I didn't. Because I'm just going to close out of it and not save any of it. But that's the way this program works, and it is absolutely, it just turned out to be one of the best website builders that I've found anywhere for people who don't want to be programmers. So that's what you see is what you get, Web Builder 8, and that's how you do it. You go in and you build this initial website. Should have 8 content pages and the 3 obligatory pages, and that's how you would do it on what you see is what you get, Web Builder 8, along with some other instructions that you would follow. Next we have, and I'm not going to go through this, I'm not going to go through any kind of tutorial on this, but Xsite Pro is a tremendous website for building static websites. Xsite Pro is excellent. Just an example of a website that was built through Xsite Pro is this one right here. This has bulging disc symptoms dealing with spinal pain. It has about 40 pages. It is built with a template here with my own header put in it, and has some contextual advertising over here. And this is the type of site that can be built along with thousands of others that can be built with Xsite Pro. Xsite Pro at this writing is $197, and it's worth every cent of it. It has an extensive feature set that you have to learn to use. It takes some learning and some understanding of web design. It has a large selection of available site templates, which I would strongly suggest if you decide on this program that you use one of their templates to make sure that you're considering multiple browsers. And that's another thing that's important with what you see is what you get, Web Builder. Making demo pages means that each one becomes a solid template. And when you put it together in Firefox or one of these others, it will also show up okay in Internet Explorer. So using those demo pages, creating demo pages and using demo pages gives you a template for each page, and which means if it works in Firefox, it's very likely going to work in Internet Explorer. So using a template in either one of these sites, or demo pages here or a template here, is very important to make sure that you get consistency between the browsers. So they have an exclusive feature set, a large selection of available site templates, and those can be edited. You can change various colors and elements in it, but I do suggest strongly that you use a site template. You can design your own template. That's an option in there, but again, when you design your own, if you're designing it and checking it with any of these, you have to make sure that you're doing and providing elements in there to make sure that it works in Internet Explorer, because you can build one in Firefox that looks great and have it distorted and ridiculous looking in Internet Explorer. There's easy insertion of contained advertising. They have certain types of advertising that they work with, like AdSense and Amazon. And of course, you can insert your own of any kind. You just have to do it on your own. It does have a larger learning curve than what you see is what you get, but certain advantages to it that are not present here. It has self-propagating features. In other words, every time you build a web page, you don't have to have multiple web pages like you did here, or demo pages. Every time you create a page, whatever you put in it, it comes up exactly like all the rest of the pages, and it has certain elements, customizable elements in the pages that you can use, though it is not near as versatile. It is not near as advanced as it is not near as versatile as far as being able to design each page a little differently as what you see is what you get here. It has a larger learning curve, a lot of self-propagating features. It has numerous customizable feature sets, and sites are saved as a program file. I think I put that over here. I didn't. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just remembered here that I needed to go back down here and let you know that in what you see is what you get. If you create a website, you just simply save it as a file that will open back up in here with everything in place. And wherever you have your pictures and various elements of your website stored that are inserted, you need to leave them in the same place on your computer, because when you bring up your website file back in your program here, if those pictures are not in the same place on your website, they will disappear from what you see is what you get. And that's the same thing with X-Site Pro. They will disappear in your program. Now, if your website is published, it won't disappear online unless you publish it again. But wherever you have your pictures in these various programs, you want to make sure you leave them there on your site or on your computer, so that every time you bring up your site, those pictures come back up the way they're supposed to look. So X-Site Pro has a lot of features. This is X-Site Pro with a small site that I built some time ago, and I haven't really done anything with it. This is one of the templates that's available in the program, and I just use this, and here's a preview of it, how it looks in a browser, and it will look that way in Internet Explorer or any other browser because I used one of the templates. And this was very easy to make, and every time I create a web page, regardless of what I put in it, it comes up looking like this on a page like this with a navigation bar down the side that looks like that, and it's very easy to use and very fast. When you learn how to use it, it's very, very fast to use and will work very well for you. So that's X-Site Pro. Highly recommended. I have 2 websites that I built with X-Site Pro that are very basic, and they're just static websites. There's no blog attached to them, and they've gotten up to where they've made as much as $1,800 a month just in contextual advertising, AdSense. So you can build very, very good sites. You can build them fast, and you can build them efficiently with X-Site Pro. Very, very good. Site Build It. I'm going to take you to a site here. This will surprise you if you didn't come in through this through a site that I'm going to show you here in just a minute. At this writing, it's $29.95 a month, or you can pay $300 a year and save a little bit of money. Site Build It is an online service. You build your site online, or you can upload your own HTML, though anybody uploading their own HTML would probably do it some other way, would have one of these programs and do it some other way. It has extensive site and building tools online. There is step-by-step training. When I say step-by-step, I mean step-by-step extensive training that takes you through every piece of the process. It can be extraordinarily tedious if you're not careful, but it's very, very thorough and very comprehensive training to take you through about a 10 or 12-day process just to get ready to start building your website. And it's a turnkey operation. Everything that you need to build a good website is in there. You can add your own elements to it if you want to, but it's a turnkey operation. You can join SiteSell and buy a Site Build It site, and you can have everything you need to build your website forever, other than your own pictures and and the things that you want it to contain. But it is a turnkey operation that you basically can work on from anywhere in the world. It's because it's online. So here's what you'll see online: marketers arguing about whether Site Build It or some other venue is better. Don't get caught up in any of those arguments online. I mean, there's some scathing, rank arguments online between promoters of SiteSell and Site Build It and other types of website promotion and building. And I mean, it's scathing. And ignore it. Ignore it. Site Build It works. Here's a good example. Now, Christian Gun Owner website. Now, some of you may have come here through this, but if you're just seeing this for the first time and you hate Christians, or you hate gun owners, or you hate guns, or you hate all three, try to get past that for just a minute to understand the dynamics of the site. This is a website that's my personal site. I've had it for about 4.5 years. This site currently receives about 60,000 unique visitors per month. 2,500 visitors a day, many of those being unique visitors, thousands and thousands of page views every day. Site Build It works if you put some work into it and pay attention to what you need to do to correctly optimize your site. This site has gained a lot of notoriety. It's well known across the U.S. I get contacts from people across the U.S. and around the world, and it's been quoted in the Business Day section of the New York Times. So it's a popular site and has worked very, very well. And Site Build It has worked very well in building this site over the years and keeping it updated and promoted. So don't get caught up in the arguments. These will all work. Hosting a site on someplace like HostGator and doing it on your own, Site Build It will also work and work very well for you. It'll be a little bit more expensive, and you only get one website, but it's worth every cent that you pay for. It's value delivered is what it is, so it will work. If you decide to do a WordPress blog, I'm not including anything in this tutorial on WordPress because you have to install WordPress through your HostGator cPanel, which I'll show how to do in the next video. And it requires a theme to build a site. You have to have a theme built, or you have to use one of the default WordPress themes. And there are default themes available in WordPress. I'll just show you a WordPress blog that I did build here, and it's a new site for me. I just resigned from a church job that I'd had for 9 years, and I now have a website called Church Jobs Coach. And this WordPress theme right here is called Catalyst. And it's highly customizable. It's for sale. You have to buy it, and then you can customize it any way you want to. But this is my site, the Church Jobs Coach, and this is a WordPress blog. And what I've got on it so far are pages. It's a new site that I've just put up with everything I need on it here, with the initial pages, my main pages, and then I'll start blogging on it here very shortly. But this is the way one of them works and looks, and you can make them look very nice, and they can be very effective. But there is a long and strong learning curve. My suggestion here is you don't try WordPress until you learn other things about site building. Build yourself a static site, or build it on a free or a self-contained blogging site, which I'll show you here in just a minute. So WordPress is an option if you know how to build a WordPress blog, you know how to put one up. Then what's valuable here is these videos working together and this process working together. And so if you know how to build a WordPress blog and you've gone back and you've done the keyword research from the other video, then you can take that keyword research, apply your articles to a WordPress blog, and you would be just fine. And then there are other site and design options. Weebly, which is preferred over Blogger. These are self-contained blogging sites. They're like Site Build It, except not as extensive, don't have all the training in them, and don't have the features, and you won't be able to build the kind of site that you can build in Site Build It. You can build a massive site in Site Build It with all kinds of features. Here you'll be able to build a good site. There are people making good money on Weebly sites. It's free, but with the paid version, you get domain mapping. You can get your own domain name and map that to your Weebly blog, and you'll have your own domain name as opposed to something.weebly.com. And there are internal site building tools and templates. You can build your entire website from within Weebly, or you can add your own site elements, pictures, and so forth. So you have a choice of what to do there. So it has everything you need to build an online site or blog, and you don't have to have separate software to do that. I would suggest, though, you getting the paid version if you do it. I think the last time I did it was $14 a month, which is pretty inexpensive, and you can build a blog for $14 a month. And they host everything for you too. You can upload your pictures to them and everything, so they host everything for you. So Weebly is, if you're going to use a site like this, it's preferred over Blogger. Just remember that when you do this, This is a site owned by somebody else, and you don't have control over everything. Should Weebly decide to make some kind of move into the netherworld, then your site could disappear. Blogger, very famous, owned by Google, been around for a long time now. It's all free. You can have it's their own site website design tools and templates. Not as many, it's not as extensive as Weebly. And you can map a domain name. You can have your own domain name to any Blogger blog. The downside to Blogger is that it is owned by Google, and that is a big downside. Numerous people over the years, marketers in particular, have gone in and found their Blogger blogs gone because of the way they marketed them. With no warning from Google, it's just gone. That means that Google just removed them from their server because they didn't like it for whatever reason, and or they just de-indexed them because they've got them all right there. And if something happens that Google does not like, then they have a tendency to disappear from the face of the earth. Many a marketer has gone in and found their Blogger blogs, found himself locked out of their Blogger blogs, and Google's terms of service allow them to do that and have your blog disappear from the face of the earth. Now, there are a lot of things you can do to keep that from happening, but just keep in mind that it's owned by Google, and Google does what Google wants to. So if I were to pick between one of these two right here that I was going to build a website or blog on, I would go with Weebly. And finally, that's it as far as showing you, giving you a tutorial about what to watch for. I'm going to bring this out one more time. So this is a screenshot here that you can kind of look at here if you wanted to. This will be on your screen, and you can use a screen cutter to cut it out and just use it as a picture if you want to once you're done and once you get ready to build your website, so that you've got all these things to watch while you're building your website. The final thing up here is get it built, saved, and ready to publish. Get it in order and nice, just like I put together began to put together that page a while ago on what you see is what you get. Make a nice design. Make it nice and square and open and easy to read and attractive. And put your articles in it. Don't overdo them, but get them written, make them coherent. Make sure your keywords are in them. You've got the other video there about how to write your articles and how to get the right keywords in them. So get it in order, get it nice, get it built. And that's not to be confused with perfect. Don't become a perfectionist. Make sure everything is nice and square and right and where it's supposed to be. But getting involved with perfection in this type of business and this type of activity will keep you looking at your computer screen forever and doing nothing. So if you will simply follow these guides right here to put your website together, pick one of these to do it with, and get it done. At the end of the time that it takes for you to get it done, it'll be nice and in order. Not perfect, but it'll be ready to go. So that's it for building your website. There will be a learning curve there, and just put yourself down on your time limit and make sure that you get it done in the amount of time that you've allotted for it. And we'll move on to the next video, which will be choosing your domain name and getting your site published and live. I'll talk to you soon.